Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Canizaro, USBC Media Relations Manager, live from the Baton Rouge River Center. This is the 2012 USBC Open Championships, and we're here today to watch K&K Bowling Services 5 of Las Vegas, the defending Team All Events champion. They're taking to the lanes right now for doubles and singles. As you can see, there's the scoreboard. Chris Clerk, Andrew Kane, Kyle King, Adam Ishman, the 4 returning members of last year's winning team. And we'll have their doubles and singles today. 3 games of doubles on lanes 1 and 2, followed by 3 games of singles on 3 and 4. They are just about to get underway. And I'll be here for the duration. Emil Williams Jr. on his way down as well. So sit tight, enjoy, and let's watch some bowling. We appreciate everybody joining us today. These gentlemen are going to have some work to do for sure. If they're going to defend their title successfully, become the first team since 1998 to win back-to-back Team All Events titles live lanes. The last group to do so, they almost won 3 in a row. That group led by John Gaines. We saw them earlier in the year. Last night, these guys shot 31.01 in the team event. They got off to a spectacular start, 10.46, 10.91, and then faltered slightly in Game 3, shooting just 9.64. The 5th member of their group, Les Sherwint, was not able to make the trip this year. I believe he is recovering from a recent surgery and was unable to fly. So the replacement for the year was Antonio Medina, Davenport, Iowa, and he actually bowled this morning at 11:40. Got his 6 games in the books then. I believe he's on his way home at this point. So he shot 19.44. He got off to a spectacular start yesterday as well, 234, 276, before struggling in the finale with 120. Came back, had a rough start this morning, 173, 192. But it closed out doubles with 258 for 623 and followed that up with a huge 691 in singles to give these guys a good head start. K&K Bowling Services 5 of Las Vegas, the 2011 Team All Events champ, took home that title with a 10,283 total. Some big scores last year in Reno, Nevada at the National Bowling Stadium. And these guys virtually came out of nowhere. It's not like they're unknowns by any means, but as far as last year's title, let's go back about a year. And Emil and I were signed on live streaming to check out our defending doubles champs at the time, Steve Bone and John Cryer Jr. And these K&K guys were a couple pairs away, kind of quietly getting it done. They had just shot 31.63 in the team event, which on last year's leaderboard was not all that high, ended up finishing 135th. So we really weren't paying too close of attention to them as they were bowling doubles and singles, not for long at least. They averaged as a team 237. Go from plus 163 in the team events to more than 1,000 over par when it was all said and done. And by the time singles came around, we simply turned our cameras to the action, and we were glad to catch that. Pretty exciting moment for them and for the event. It's really cool to see stuff like that happen. That took a lot of teamwork, communication. These guys, of course, as I mentioned, all very skilled in their own right. This gentleman up on lane 2 right now, Kyle King, was a first-timer at last year's event, a former Junior Team USA member. He's done some bowling in his career, and he got it done for sure. Shot 21.23 in his Open Championships debut. Helped these guys to the title. Gentleman on the left lane, Chris Clark, also a former Junior Team USA member. He rolled a 300 game in the team event in 2010 and added a 299 effort last year in singles, I believe, to help the cause. Looks like Les Sherwin is checking in the chat room. As we mentioned, unable to make the trip this year to help in the title defense, but glad he's able to check in and see how things are going here in Baton Rouge. Up on lane 1 right now, left-hander Andrew Kane, former junior and regular Team USA member, currently the USBC president. So he gets it done on the lanes and behind the scenes for USBC. And he has bowled exceptionally well at every level of the game. Former standout at Arizona State University as well, bowled with Brett Wolf, who was on our live stream broadcast just the other day. And finally, Adam Ishman up on lane 2, the Las Vegas area. He's a proud employee of K&K. They're the folks who run the Ebonite Track Columbia booth here at the Open Championships and have a number of pro shops and embroidery shops throughout the Las Vegas area. Adam spends a lot of time here at the Open Championships, keeping an eye on the booth, and did the same last year in Reno. After they took the lead, he spent quite a few days very close to the action, and every time something happened, he was definitely there to check it out as they sweat it out about a month and a half before being announced the official champions. The gentlemen today are following a team event. There was a team on first 44 lanes of this 46 lanes of this 48 lane venue today at 2:30. So all these lanes have been bowled on. Andrew Kane, the lone left-hander. He is channeling his inner Brett Wolf, throwing the urethane blue hammer today. We saw Brett bowl very well in singles with his trusty blue hammer just a couple days ago. All these guys minus Ishman bowl in the same sport league as Brett Wolf back home in Arizona, where they spend all of the year on some variation of the Open Championships lane condition, whether it be last year's until the current pattern is available, and then they switch it out. And as we mentioned, Brett Wolf has also had considerable success at this event in recent years. I'm sure that bowling in the USBC Sport Certified League has helped that. Definitely helps you make good shots, focus on shot making and spare shooting, and it pays off when you get to the big stage. The number they are chasing right now, 9,954, 9954, currently held by SMB Pro Shop 1 of Clinton Township, Michigan. That group includes tournament champion Billy Orlikowski and Nick Wissinger, who started rough this year with a 169 game and ended up shooting 21.52 to lead his team into the top spot in team all events. Guys don't have quite the hill to climb that they had last year. Still a lot of work ahead of them. They shot 31.01 in the team event last night. We're about halfway through game number 1 already. Time definitely flies during doubles and singles. There's a look at the scoreboard so far. Not a whole lot of strikes on the board here early. Back to the action. Clerk now up on lane 1. Good shot there last night. Clerk shot 6.38 in the team event. Adam Ishman had 5.52. Antonio Medina, the fill-in for this year, had 6.30. Kyle King 6.39, and Andrew Kane leading the way at 6.42. So Kane yet to strike here in doubles. There's another 8-pin. I believe that's the second one of the day so far. He's sticking with that urethane ball. Brett Wolf, who was also left-handed, struggled considerably in team and doubles. And finally, things fell into place for a big singles effort. Kane's going to have to get things together a little bit sooner if these guys are going to have a chance at back-to-back titles. Big shot there for Kyle King on the left. The first double of the day for K&K. Kirk up on the right lane looking for his first double of the afternoon. This is 530 doubles and single squad here at the 2012 USBC Open Championships. And that one gets away right and pays the price, 1-2-10. Break for Ishman, leaves a 9-pin on the left. In team all events right now, as we mentioned, S&B Pro Shop 1 on top, 99.54. In order to make it into the top 5 this year, 97.95 right now, France Pro Shop. And a recent addition to the top 10, Little Lebowski's, 96.87. In the 10th spot, so these guys definitely have some work to do. Got a good head start last night, 31.01. Condition this year, a little bit more challenging, scores a little bit lower. But it definitely was that huge come from behind win last year that made their surge into the lead that much more exciting. At least from a spectator standpoint. I'm sure from their perspective, as long as they get it done. Kane registers his first strike of the day. Kyle Kane's going to step up on the right, looking for 3 in a row here. Clark trying to get back on track after the washout. High, leaves the 3-6-10. Clark going to step up. Try to get things going with a split conversion here. Frame number 7. Up short. Kane stepping up, looking for a double here on lane 1. He's got it, so it just took him a couple minutes to get lined up there. Left side of the lane, pretty fresh. He is the lone left-hander in this group. Takes a minute to smooth out the pattern a little bit. small crowd on hand for this doubles and singles squad. Obviously less bowlers on the lanes. Things have a little different feel compared to the team event. And last night before bowling team, these K&K Bowling Services 5 teammates got to celebrate their win a little bit. Got escorted down center aisle. And they were presented with their Team All Events trophy and some championship watches to go along with the Eagles they have at home. And they got to come out and see the orange Eagles on the scoreboard next to their names for the very first time. So that's always a special moment for any champion, especially first-time champs. And then, of course, the difficult task of quickly focusing and starting practice to try to make a run at 2 in a row. Things not going well here early in this doubles event. Clark now with 3 consecutive opens. Ishman looking at a very difficult spare as well. We're through just about 8 frames here. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Kane's going to step up here first. Looking for a 3-bagger after not striking the first 5 frames. He mixes them up, no problem. There's a look so far. These guys had 31.01 last night. 800 over here in doubles and singles today. Antonio Medina filling in this year for K&K. He bowled earlier today at 1140, shot 1944. So pretty good head start. Now the rest of these guys just have to step up and match it and then some. To the right of us here, just a couple of familiar faces from the Milwaukee area. By Jeff Henry, who used to work at USBC headquarters in the sport bowling program. He's a champion at this event as well. Will be with us shortly. He's upstairs wrapping a couple things up before he heads down. That was Isman just clipping the 10-pin on lane 2. He led this group last year, shot 21.35. Let's see if Kane gets his 4th consecutive strike. That one looked like it was headed right, about halfway down the lane. And the worst possible result at that point. 6-7-10. 7 out for Kane. Looks like he lost it off his hand. A few pins right there, working on a 3-bagger. Clerk up on the right lane, trying to finish strong. You can see by his gesture there, a little bit of wiggle down lane. So he's definitely scratching his head a little bit, trying to figure something out here. If he spares this up, he'll be in the 150s. And Emil Williams Jr. is now joining us for his expert commentary.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. We're doing a little better than these K&K guys so far. They're definitely struggling here early. Not a good feeling. I can attest to that. However, they're the defending champs. A lot of pressure there, I'm sure. But no matter how they bowl this year or from here on out, it's something that will never be taken away.
Well, there's no doubt, I'm sure, that they didn't want things to start this way. But crazier things have happened. Get lined up, might be able to make a run.
I think he just jinxed Kyle King. He was working on a 3-bagger. We're in the 10th. Which player's going to step up and close things out? Here's a look at how things are going so far. Not a lot of strikes thus far. A couple of bonus pins there. Clark finishes with 157. King gets 2. He's got 209 here in the opener. Imagine there's a handful of K&K folks checking in from Las Vegas right now.
The struggles continue for Adam, unfortunately. He told me he didn't probably thrown the 3 worst games he's thrown in quite some time. Actually, I think he said it in his life. Last night, this is a 4-pin there at 10. Not off to the greatest start. These 4 gentlemen.
I do appreciate everybody joining us. This is Matt Kinizaro and Bill Williams Jr. Live at the Baton Rouge River Center. K&K Bowling Services 5 on the lanes. There it is, game number 1. 157, 183, 209, 158. See if these guys can get back on track here in game 2. A lot of talking going on. A couple ball changes coming right up.
Looks like Clark seems to be throwing into O by Columbia 300. In fact, the ball is he listed. Pin down eruption, what he finished the team event with. Violent eruption. He's also got a pin-up eruption, I believe, in oath and open. And a benchmark, leading through the benchmark during the field ball shot last game. Textbook spare right there. 245, 2 dead on. Should take out the rest. So Kyle King with the spare, a spare. Not sure exactly what Kyle's throwing, or I should say what is all in his bag, of course. I do know last night he threw a jolt. Yes, I said a jolt. Victory road solid. Again, that was just last night during the team event, so we may see those balls again. Right now, of course, for Adam Ishman. Of course, he's part of the Ebonite family. He has a couple of outbursts, a couple of game breakers. Might see a rhythm or 508A. 508A, of course, from track. Rhythm from Hammer. And I believe this is a game breaker. As we get the seal of approval from Matt Cannizzaro in the booth. In fact, I actually think he did a Jersey Shore fist bump when I said game breaker. And for Andrew Kane, he saw a little of his blue hammer. Talked to Ishman beforehand, said he would probably only throw that if things were a little funky. He threw it at team at the start last night to create a little push for himself. He also has an encounter and a dark encounter. Well, while these gentlemen seem to be struggling with ball reaction and trying to get a look, of course, it's also a very important moment where you don't want to let yourself get out of it mentally. It's still early. This is frame 2 of game number 2. Take enough time. Try to compose yourself, make the best shots possible. Of course, if you know you threw a good shot, and obviously, or the ball didn't do what you expected it to do, well, it's a tough place to be, no question about that. Got to keep fighting. And we expect these gentlemen to do that, of course. Not only are they good bowlers, but now they are champions at this event. And they became champions with great shots like that from Chris Clark.
Well, we're talking a lot about the team all events number. 99 and 54 is what these guys are shooting at right now. They shot 31-1 last night in the team event, so a lot of work to do here in doubles and singles. But at the same time, of course, still doubles titles on the line, singles as well. Big number in doubles they're shooting at. 1489, currently held by 2010 All-Events champ Matt McNeil and Charles Vashaw of Minnesota. McNeil led the way there with an 847 series, becoming the first bowler in tournament history with 3 800s on the championship lanes. All 3 coming in consecutive years as he has dominated this event. He shot 22.02 this year, his 3rd year over 2200 in a row, and is the all-events leader as well. Member of the group this year, Antonio Medina, bowled at 11:40 this morning. Shot 1944. Had a rough start in doubles, finished with 623, added 691 in singles. I believe he has hit the road on his way back to Davenport, Iowa. These guys here to do the rest of the work. 5th member of the team last year, Les Sherwin. Las Vegas, unable to make the trip this year, but he's at home, watching in the chat room.
Solid couple of frames for Chris Clerk. 10-pin spare, no problem for King. Now King, former Team USA member. In that elite club where he's opened up, he's making first Open Championships appearance. He coming away with an eagle. Ball late to recover for Andrew King. Almost leads to 7-10. The 7 goes down late. Dishman up on lane 1, looking for a double. They're going with the slow roll here, the slow wheel. Light would leave the 2-8.
We are 3 frames into game number 2 here, and again, not a lot of strikes on the board. If you're going to get to 10,000 here at the Open Championships, that's a whole lot of striking. They got it done last year, averaged 237. After a mediocre team event as far as last year's scoring pace at least. Not a lot of 10,000s in tournament history, and there's a reason. It's just pretty difficult.
And compared to this year as far as scoring pace goes, obviously, if you've been following the tournament a little bit, or watching our broadcast, scoring pace is considerably lower as compared to last year. Having said that, they're about 60 pins off of last year's pace as far as team goes coming into today. So, in hindsight, they're just about right where they were last year, if you look at it that way. And if you're one of those realists, where you say, well, the scoring pace is lower, and then you would think, well, they still got a lot more work to do. There's no question about that. They absolutely destroyed them last year. Chris Clark has had an honor score in 2 consecutive years here at the tournament. 300 in 2010 and 299 last year. Ishman able to get the 10 out. This leaves the 7. These 4 gentlemen do create a little crowd. They have a following behind them here in the bleachers as well. Of course, Mr. Kane, the USBC president. Chris Clark, fine bowling. USA member himself, Adam Ishman, no shop operator, does some things here at the K&K booth. Spent some time here in Baton Rouge this year, as he did last year as well. In fact, after he bowled, he stayed in Reno and had to wait it out. Watch other great teams continue to bowl and try to run past their number. And of course, Kyle King, a former junior teamer as well. So these 4 have been very known, very well known. In the sport. Especially on the West Coast, however, where they are from. Up on 1, looking for a double. So with no consistent ball reaction, it looks like for the majority, try to keep the speed slow so they can create some hook. Back portion of the lane. That ball speed low so the ball can read the end of the pattern. For Clark.
Fortunately, sir, spares are not going to get it done today. They're chasing a big number. They dug a bit of a hole. Game 1 of doubles here. I think they know it. Last year, they really had nothing to lose going out there for doubles and singles. They were way back. And clearly were just relaxed, had a good time. And got it done. The momentum led them into the top spot. This year, the pressure of being the defending champs, knowing they're off pace a little bit, it's really easy to squeeze it. Unless you're the USBC president, then you throw it great for your first strike of the game there. And Emil Williams Jr. live at Baton Rouge River Center 2012 USBC Open Championships. Right now we're watching K&K Bowling Services 5 make a run at back-to-back team all event titles here. We are behind lanes 1 and 2 in this beautiful 48 lane venue.
Like for now, for the most part, the 3 righties definitely moved left.
Kane zips that one left as well. This is the head pin. 1-3-6-10.
Ishman. Body on the ball return.
to say I'm pretty glad these guys aren't mic'd up right now.
Maybe we'll continue with our evolution and mic up somebody. I'm sure that will go over real well.
Kyle King's a name we're going to hear at this event for a very long time.
I do not doubt that.
He can't be more than 22 or 23 years old at this point, if that much.
20.
20. All right. Already a champion in his first appearance at the Open Championships.
I actually thought he was at least 21 by this point, but Adam told me he was 20. I'm not sure what his birthday is, but nonetheless, he'll be around for a while. Well, in my estimation, like two of the better shots you can throw if you're Adam Ishmael.
Well, Ishmael, I think he doesn't have a temper because these guys are pulling just 2 feet away from the wall. 2 shots. Easily frustrating. We're now through 7 here in game 2. Let's take a look at the scoreboard as Andrew Kane steps up on the right lane. More familiar faces. Stopped by to see the action. So Wichita Staters. Might have seen them on TV just the other day, wasn't it? Intercollegiate Team Championships.
How about that?
Finished second this year. Weber International. Now they're coming to try their luck at the Open Championships. Clark had the same issue last year at the stadium. Their number could have been a whole lot bigger, but he left a handful of 9 pins. That's what happens when you throw it that good.
That's somebody who throws it that good too. I always try to watch Kyle's release. It's just so quick. It's so quick, creates a lot of revs. Looks like he was able to amp up the speed a little bit on that one.
He got everything. He got a bowling.
Well, people in the chat room obviously curious what he's throwing now that he has a 5-bagger. Sometimes hard to tell from here. We can figure it out. We'll share for sure.
Got a hook there.
watching the second game of doubles here at the Baton Rouge River Center. At 5 for Kyle King. Shot 21-23 in his tournament debut last year. And 6:39 last night. Started doubles here with 2:09. Guy shot 31.01 last night in the team event. That's right around 50th place. Team leader this year, Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2 from La Crosse, Wisconsin. 34.01. A couple of big numbers here. And a whole bunch of other folks. It's pretty close. Ronnie Horton checking in the chat. Ronnie and his teammates were on our broadcast last Wednesday. Armstrong Printing had a pretty good showing here. Had a pretty good time in Baton Rouge. A little bit of bowling, a little bit of hanging out. That's what it's all about. Memorable trip, I'm sure. Hit some side events. Certainly made the most of the opportunity. Well, we have a moment. We're heading into the 10th frame here. Here's what it looks like. Strike is hard to come by here in doubles. Kyle King not having too hard of a time.
I believe he's throwing a victory road solid. Looks like it definitely is a storm ball. He also went a little time machine last night with Jolt.
A gentleman in the chat asked how we decide who we show on our live stream broadcast. It's kind of simple, but not really. We just sit down and we think who would be interesting to show live on Bowl TV. Who would people tune in to see? Of course, our defending champs are a must-have. So, by virtue of their win last year in Reno, these gentlemen found their way onto the schedule. And from there, we just think who we'd like to see, who we think we can talk about for 3 hours, and who people would tune in to have a look at. And then, of course, we check our database to see when everybody's coming. That, of course, is pretty important as we try to spread it out over 151 days. We just so happen to have 6 broadcasts in the last 10 days or so. But typically we aim for 1 a week, maybe 2. And it certainly helps when the team captains turn in their roster so we know when everybody's coming as well. And we often get emails from people curious if they can see somebody, if we might want to put somebody on the schedule for next year, etc. So we have some good ideas. We're trying to mix it up, show some different folks if we can. And of course some regulars like Matt McNeil are must-haves as well. A little bonus coverage with McNeil this year. Good thing too, we would have missed out on it. Piece of history. So there's that quick explanation. Ishman up in the right lane. He's just the 5. Kane stepping up on the left, working on a double. Three-bagger for the left-hander. Here's a look at the scoreboard as we close things out here in game 2. A bit of a tough start. Clerk gets lined up there in the 10th frame for 197. Kyle King leading the way, 209, 224. Ishman clean here in game 2. There in the 10th going to the ball bag. Their 5th bowler, Antonio Medina, bowled earlier today. Finished the trip with 1944, all events total. Ishman still struggling to find the right ball. Finishes with 188. Kane strike here gives him 222. So he's back on track after a 183 start. 220 for the southpaw. More game to go here in doubles. The number they're chasing for doubles, at least 1489, Matt McNeil and Charles Bashaw. Then we'll head over to lanes 3 and 4 for 3 games of singles action. May be curious about any of the scores here at the Open Championships or would like to see a recap of their title defense here. You can check bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page. You'll find out everything you ever wanted to know about the Open Championships and probably more. Scores to news to notes, blogs, pictures, videos, you name it, it's there. And if you don't have time to sit there and wait on bowl.com, well, there's a way to get the news even faster.
That would be Twitter. Check us out. Follow us on Twitter. Follow at USBC. Fastest way to get the latest news, headlines and highlights, recaps. Again, that is at USBC. Follow myself if you like. I don't know why you would do that, but always open for interaction at EWJR.
Well, if you're curious about what happens at the Open Championships at 3 o'clock in the morning, Emil's your guy.
That is a very true statement.
Give you the lowdown.
It's a true statement. Nice call. Be able to tell you all about what happened.
If you're in town, come keep the man company. It gets quiet and lonely here. We do have squads on the lanes all day and all night. First squad starts bowling for score around 7 a.m., if not sooner. And the final squad hits the lanes at 11:30 p.m. So always something to see. Come on down if you're in the neighborhood. Just ask Ronnie Horton. They have some great food here in the venue. So grab a snack and a beverage. Jump up in the bleachers. Always something good to see on the lanes here at the Open Championships. Matt McNeil, Matty McHonorscore, cannot get enough. He's tuning in right now.
I'm not bowling until noon tomorrow. I want to bowl at noon tomorrow and get done. Clean up the rest of it.
One frame in the books here in game 3 and no strikes on the scoreboard. No strikes. Yikes. Defending Team All Events champs, number 9954. Struggles continue here in frame 2.
Didn't get a chance to see practice, man. What did it look like? Okay. All right.
During doubles and singles, of course, you get 2 shots on each lane. Not a whole lot of time to do much but get loose. You have to come out here typically and watch the group in front of you to get an idea. And then run with it. Unlike some of us who go out there and throw 5 different balls in the first 5 frames. That never works, by the way. Pick a game plan, go for it. These 4 gentlemen here, definitely seasoned veterans at many levels of the game. And internationally even. 3 of these gentlemen have experience with Team USA or Junior Team USA. Have traveled abroad. Ishman has traveled abroad as well. Going in some events in Europe, I believe, earlier this year. Post Eagle. You can never gain too much experience. And as we talked about earlier, these gentlemen from Arizona, Chris Clerk, Andrew Kane, Kyle King, they have a sport league in their area where they bowl on the USBC Open Championships lane condition all year round. They bowl on last year's pattern until this year's comes out. What better way to prepare? Keep your skills sharp, shot making, spare shooting. Enjoy the league environment. Some very cool sport bowling awards. If you're lucky enough to shoot a score like 886, like Brett Wolf shot in their league.
It's a lot of score right there.
Can only make you better.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Ah. Wow.
Kyle King picks up the 4.67. And now Andrew Kane's going to step up, basically shooting at the same thing. Doesn't want to be shown up here, I'm sure. He's going to shoot the 4.610. A little more finesse, and he gets 2. Bone checking in as well. 2010 doubles champ, as we talked about last year. We had the live stream camera set up to show Bone and John Cryer Jr., the defending champs, get it done in doubles. And these K&K guys quietly were getting it done right next door. And we were fortunate enough to catch their singles event as they took the lead with a huge number. They actually blew them away in doubles and singles and took the lead live on Bull.com. I like it when we go out there, we get a surprise like that. It's always fun. Keep us on our toes. Doubles just flying by here at the River Center today. We are in game 3. Great shot there by Clark. Let's take a look at the scoreboard now. His first strike here in the doubles finale. Ishman up on the left. So Brooklyn leaves a 5-pin. He's going to be glad we didn't show that shot. Go. Back to it. Andrew Kane up on the right. Working on an open frame. Here's another left-hander checking in, David Prang. And our very own lane guy, Tyrone Burks. Should Tyrone be here getting the oil machines ready? What's going on?
I believe this is his day off.
Day off?
In fact, one of his days off. Wow. How about that? Vacation.
Most important guys in the building, the lane guys, taking days off.
They have some staff that can handle things in his absence, of course. I wasn't sure if the world was ready to, we should, tell him his real name or his stage name.
Stage name.
Not sure if people are ready for that.
Kane stepping up on the left, looking for a double. He has opened both times on this lane. It's just the 6th. Shot there from Clark. 10-pin won't cooperate. Kyle King, just 20 years old, getting it done. Watched him bowl at the Team USA trials last year. First time I ran into him. And 'll have a recap of this title defense on bowl.com later tonight. Things not going well here for K&K Bowling Services 5. Big number they're chasing. It's going to take a lot of strikes. Five spare for Kane. Take a look. Top once again. As we wind down here in doubles, Emil, how about a rundown of the leaderboards here at the 2012 USBC Open Championships?
Fresh off the press. Top 10 here at the 2012 edition of the USBC Open Championships. Of course, standing tall is Kyle King with another strike. And also standing tall with 34.01 still since March 5th, of course, Nicholas J's Pro Shop number 2 of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Again, 34.01 in 5th place. The Lanes Lakers won from Minneapolis, Minnesota, 32.78. And in 10th place, Indy Storm 1 from Mandan, North Dakota, 32.27. Good shot from Andrew Kane. In regular doubles, Matt McNeil and Charles Shaw, 14.89, which is the number many here were chasing for this squad. In 5th place, Thomas Corbin, Gary Green, teammates of theirs, 14.39 in 5th place. And in 10th, 14.10 to get you in the top 10. That is held by Scott Erickson and Chris Gibbons. Erickson from Oregon, Wisconsin, Gibbons from Madison, Thomas from Minneapolis, Gary from Holton, Wisconsin. I failed to mention Matt McNeil from Prior Lake, Minnesota, and Charles Shaw from Deep Haven, Minnesota. In regular singles, also still standing strong, is Henry Teets III from West Allis, Wisconsin. 800 on the nose. There's a tie for 5th, 771. Jim Murtashaw from Menifee, California, and John Ferretti from Erie, Pennsylvania, 771. And then a tie at the bottom, a tie for 9th, Mark D'Angelo, 756, and Matt Smith, also with 756. D'Angelo from Elmira, New York, Smith from Altoona, Iowa. Regular all events, again, it's McNeil on top of the leaderboard with 22.02. In 5th place, Nick Heilman from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Leaders of the Nicholas J's Pro Shop squad, 21.21, and again a tie at the bottom, 20.89. Regular all events, Chris Gibbons from Madison, Wisconsin, and Tom Adcock from Decatur, Illinois. And the number that these gentlemen are chasing. Team all events, the top spot, held by S&B Pro Shop 1 of Clinton Township, Michigan, 99.54. In 5th place, Friends Pro Shop 1 of Waterloo, Iowa, 97.95. And in 10th place, Little Lebowski's from Littleton, Colorado. 96-87. And that is a look. Top 10 standings. The 2012 USBC Open Championships.
Kyle King gets the 3 hard ones.
Gets the 3 hard ones.
So far today, he's been pretty right on. That shot, however, just pretty right.
Of course, Matt, that top 10 is brought to you by
us.
Us is correct. It's crazy how many times we say it's beyond easy to get 3.
But the hard part is getting the other 7. He does it.
Do that.
No problem. We're about to wrap up doubles here. Ishman with a double of his own. Here's a look at the scoreboard as we close things out. Once again, their 5th member, Antonio Medina, shot 1944 to give them a head start in team all events. Y'all can't see it, but Kyle King leads the 4-6 on the left lane. So another tough break for him, especially in the 10th frame. There's that. Let's get back to the action for the final frame here. Chris Clerk found something late in game 3. Also something late in game 2. Ishman's throwing some great shots this game and doesn't have much to show for it. A couple 10 pins, 9 pin. We've got some WWE SmackDown going on across the hall at the arena. Thought for sure these guys were going to come over here and lay the smack down. That is just not the case. Struggling here in doubles. Have our calculations here as we get ready for singles. We're gonna move some cameras around and do some things. And then we'll let you know what they need if they're gonna jump back into the top spot this year. Quick rundown, Chris Clerk, 565. Kyle King, 637. And it looks like Adam Ishman, 526. Double scoreboard, a little tough to read here. Got the 2012 Open Championships. Maybe I'm just getting old.
That you are.
Here's a quick look. Kane finishes things out. It's like 580. 1163 and 1145. That's a couple of cashers for sure. But they have a lot of work to do. put up a solid team all events number. All right, now we're going to switch our attention to the next pair over. Bear with us as we move some cameras around. All right, folks, we are back. Quick break. Emil had a quick workout. We're back to it for singles here. We're gonna do some number crunching real quick. See what these guys need to make a good showing here in team all events. Their fifth bowler, Antonio Medina, 1944. In the books already. He's on his way home. Looking forward to hearing about how things finish up here. The official fifth member of this team, Les Sherwin, back home in Las Vegas, unable to make the trip after a recent eye surgery. He'll be back with the team next year, but unable to be here for the title defense. All right, sir, what do you got for numbers?
Well, give me 1 sec there.
Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Well, that's when we got done moving.
Just frame number 3 here in singles. We'll have a look at the scoreboard in just a minute. We'll let these guys get settled in and comfortable.
Along with Antonio's 623 double set from earlier, they totaled 29-31.
Of course, 3,000 is par for a 5-player event here. Last night in the team event, they shot 31.01. Yeah, just under 3,000 in doubles. Folks, it's Emil's first time using a calculator. We'll have those numbers for you in just a minute.
I just like to double check things.
I understand.
You always got to be correct. You just can't go out there throwing out numbers all willy-nilly like that. But nonetheless, 60-32 is where they stand now.
Plus 32.
To get to the lead, they're going to need a pretty hefty 39-22. Not including Antonio Medina's
39-22. So, well, they got some work to do. It's still out there.
But Mr. Medina, if I'm not mistaken, and a very nice 691 set in singles.
Now in the fifth frame, however, so with every shot that is not a strike, chances become less and less. Still, we have to remember, these gentlemen celebrated last night being the defending champs. Got their championship watches and their trophy. They need to average 808 between the 4 of them here in singles. Seen all of them bowl that well at some point in their careers. Again, 808 at the Open Championships. We've had 2 800s this entire year. And one of them helped Matt McNeil and his partner into the doubles lead. The other, Henry Teese III, leading singles with 800 on the nose. So we'll see how things unfold here. We're halfway through game number 1. Ishman again throws a decent shot, fast 8. Andrew Kane's going to step up in frame 5 looking for a double. gets a huge break there. I'll have a look at the scores for you in just a sec. 808 apiece is what it's going to take.
It's a very casual number. People go ahead and knock that out just like that.
There's a look at the scores here halfway through game number 1. As you can see, a lot of striking needs to happen the rest of the way. Last time a team won back-to-back team all events titles. Lodge Lanes, 1997 and 1998. And they came within a couple of pins of making it 3 in a row in Syracuse in 1999 with tall order to come here with all that pressure and do it again. No doubt, even if these gentlemen don't get it done here in 2012, we'll see them at the top of the leaderboards for many years to come, including that gentleman on the left lane, Kyle King, just 20 years old, already an Eagle winner. Four of the 5 members of the 2011 winner here. The other gentleman is in the chat room right now, Les Sherwin in Las Vegas. Speedy recovery to that gentleman. Just had an eye surgery, unable to make the trip. And these guys are here trying to make you proud. Quick rundown of their doubles totals. They were on lanes 1 and 2 for doubles. So Chris Clerk had 565, Andrew Kane 580, Kyle King 637, and Adam Ishman 526. So add in Antonio Medina, their 5th player, who bowled at 1140 this morning. They had 2931 in doubles. And they're going to need 39-22 here in singles if they're going to hoist that Team All Events trophy again.
And for the 4 here, Chris Clark and Andrew Kane bowled together, teamed up to shoot 1145, and King and Ishman 1163.
Guys certainly enjoying every minute of their title defense, however. Not sure Kyle King enjoyed that shot too much, however.
And Les, don't fret, man. We got your watch. It'll be, I'm sure Adam will take care of that for you.
strikeout at Chris Clark for a double. He's looking to register an honor score here for the 3rd consecutive year, 300 in 2010. And 299 last year in singles, I believe, on the way to the title. Andrew Kane sails one past the head pin as well. The 1-3. This one stepping up looking for a 3-bagger. He had 552 in team event, 526 in doubles. That 3-bagger's got to feel pretty good right now. Appreciate everybody stopping by to visit with us this evening here on Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. live from the 2012 USBC Open Championships. If you missed any of tonight's broadcast, you can check out the archived version on ustream.com/BowlTV after we're done tonight. And you can find a recap tomorrow on bowl.com. We've had quite a few broadcasts in the past couple weeks, so check those out on there as well. Our next one coming up on June 8th. See some familiar names: Del Ballard Jr., Jason Milligan, Steve Smith from Team USA. Look forward to an exciting day that day. And then 1 week later, see some USBC Hall of Famers: Wendy Mack, Carolyn Dorn Ballard, and some of the top ladies in the game trying to get it done here in Baton Rouge. So look forward to that. If you're curious about the rest of the schedule or any other events on the live stream docket, check out bowl.com on the main page. You can find that on the right side of your screen. Frames in the books here in game 1 of singles. Time does fly. These guys turning it on a little bit here. Still a very long way to go. A lot of strikes to throw. And you need an average of 808 here between the 4 of them. King struggling a little bit here in singles. I don't think I've ever seen him struggle, so it's a little bit different. The important part is to keep his composure at this point, turn in another solid year here at the Open Championship, just the 2nd of his career. And I think that's where you can tell who the youngsters are sometimes. It's not how they handle things when they go well, but it's how they handle them when they don't go quite so well.
That's quality. Quality spare shooting right there.
Clerk is now up on the right lane. He's in the 230s. Kyle King's got a decision to make for his field ball. 36 for Clerk. Antonio Medina, 5th member of this team, scored already in the books, 1944, all events total. He's on his way home. Kyle King. Andrew Kane continues to have trouble with that down lane reaction. Very easy to miss a left. And then you get a result like that. Break for Ishman in the 10th frame as well. He was working on a 4-bagger. He leaves the 410. Kane opens for 211. Finishes with 215. There it is, game 1. So if they don't strike on every ball from here on out for the next 2 games, there'll be no repeat. As good as these guys are, I really don't think that's going to happen. So now it's about turning into a solid performance overall, having a strong finish, learning something. Kyle King's going to learn something for sure. Just 2 years into his tournament career. There's that pesky 9-pin been plaguing Chris Clerk for the last 2 years.
He did leave a substantial amount of those last year.
Looks like Andrew Kane's making a ball change here. USBC president. Past Team USA member, junior Team USA member. Collegiate standout. Just like Emil Williams Jr.
I don't know about that one. That'd be just a hair different.
Well, sir, you have something these gentlemen don't have. Use that as your starting point. The number these gentlemen are chasing, 99.54. S&B Pro Shop 1. Billy Orlikowski and Nick Wissinger. Looks like they will stay on top for another day. Another terrible break for Clerk, leaves the 710. Top spot in singles right now, 800 on the nose. Not going to see a new singles leader today either. And the big all events leader, Matt McNeil, 22:02, also safe at this point. Has some current Wichita State bowlers sitting in front of us checking out the action here. Which is a perfect segue, Mr. Williams, to talk about the deadline for the Combine at headquarters in Texas. Take it away.
Come on, Thursday night.
The Combine is not only a great tool, but it's a could be a launching point. Think about it that way for high school seniors, of course. And I believe they start at the junior level, but you have an opportunity to be tested on various skills, just like the NFL Draft Combine, similar as far as what drills you go through from a physical standpoint. Of course, things totally different from an on-lane standpoint. We're talking about accuracy, spare shooting, how many times you can hit that marker is very important, and all those things considered. They even do some vertical leaps, things like that. From a physical training standpoint, so it's a great opportunity to be noticed. There's several college coaches there as well. Opportunity to be coached by some of the best in the business. Team USA coaching staff, Rod Ross, Brian O'Keefe, Kim Terrell Kearney. Deadline for that is August 1st. Player cost is $100. An opportunity to get noticed, maybe another way to potentially be recruited.
Of course, bowling in college, the best way to get prepared for the next level, such as the Open Championships. Most events now contested on sport bowling lane conditions. For more information about that combine, if you want to bowl in college, you got bowl.com for all the details. That deadline is June 1st, so don't delay.
June 1st. Combine, I believe, is in August. It's August, first, second week of August. Well, actually, the exact date for you in just a sec. August 7th through the 11th. That's the actual combine dates.
One was looking pretty good. 2. not so much. Good news is, there's always next year. Back to the action now. Kane stepping up on lane 3 for his first strike. There it is. Next broadcast from the Open Championships will be June 8th. Bill Ballard Jr., Steve Smith, Jason Milligan coming to town. Will be on the road that day, so I am now taking applications for anyone interested in sitting in the booth for a few hours.
I'm sure your door will be knocked off the hinge.
Well, if we get 2 or 3 candidates, I might take that day off too. Now, if this was 2013, we wouldn't have to worry about that. We'd have help right around the corner. We'll be back at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada next year. And our associate, Aaron Smith, will be right down the street at the Reno Sparks Convention Center at the USBC Women's Championships. For the first time, both events will be in the same host city at the same time. Forward to that excitement. Families able to travel together. The ladies able to bowl in both events in one trip if they so choose. And the possibility of all kinds of other mixed events. If you'd like to register for either event in 2013, visit bowl.com. If you're curious about how things are going here in 2012, Aaron Smith is out there right now. The Women's Championships kicked off in April and will run until early July. And the Open Championships. This is day 109 of 151. So we'll be here until July 10th in Baton Rouge. Still a lot of excitement down the road at both events. However, we're not seeing too much excitement on lanes 3 and 4 right now as Chris Clerk chops his spare and Ishman is going to shoot at the 2-4-10. Clerk starts singles off with 236, but yet to strike here in game 2. Kane looking for a double. He almost gets 3 again on the right lane. This time gets the 10 out for a 4 count. Looks like the 9 also went, so he's got 5. And he is very confused on the right lane. And the right ball changed to a great on the left. Folks starting to roll in for the 8:30 team event. Got their equipment checked in through the scale room already. Came out to check out the action here behind lanes 3 and 4, but nothing to see here. Kyle King leads in 4-9. Clark looking at another tough spare as well.
Things looking a shade different right now as opposed to the first game on this pair. Gets spared by Clark.
Kane moved a little bit right, at least on the left lane. Good shot there for a strike. Tipping goes late for Isman. Take a look at the scoreboard now. Six frames in the books here in game 2. Clark up on the right, still in search of his first strike here. There it is. Kane's going to shoot the 3-6-10. He is learning the ups and downs of the Open Championships as well. A huge debut last year, shot 21-23, captured an eagle. Kane just looks too far left on lane 4. Wash out again. The double. Not too much we can say at this point. I think the pins speak for themselves, and certainly the emotion very clear. Disappointment, perhaps.
Well, I think disappointment is a fair word. Of course, you know they like to bowl a little better, perform better, of course. And course, they'd like to defend the title, of course, but they'd also like to bowl well at the same time. So as you said, the Pins have not necessarily cooperated this evening, but nonetheless, you know, caliber of bowlers here continue to persevere and fight through. Although the conclusion may not be what they initially hoped.
I believe after all they've accomplished in their careers, and then of course the big win last year, a very emotional and exciting win, the expectations have to be a lot higher on themselves. I don't think anybody else is expecting more, but I think once you've been there, you expect more of yourself, and that can always be your biggest enemy.
Yes, personal expectations.
We've seen it so many times. We even saw it with our most recent greatest champion here, Matt McNeil, in singles the last 2 years. Things did not go as well as he'd hoped, and it's definitely a learning experience for him and for these guys as well. And for Kyle King, as we said, just 20 years old, handling the ups and downs of this event, of any event. Get your composure, put up the best number you can, especially at 20 years old. He's got another 50 or 60 of these ahead of him for sure.
That personal expectation can be tough. You always expect a lot of yourself. And when you don't feel like you've lived up to those expectations that you put on yourself personally, it can be a disappointment. And I know these gentlemen definitely have enjoyed the experience coming back to the tournament as defending champions. Being officially recognized as champions from here on out.
And their 5th member from last year's title-winning team, Les Sherwin, still online in the chat, watching his teammates. They're going to ride it out together and start preparing for next year, I'm sure. But the numbers they're putting up are definitely not disappointing by general means, of course, as the defending champs, perhaps. But for the average guy coming out here, the numbers are pretty okay. Antonio Medina in the clubhouse, 1944. Extremely respectable score there. Kyle King on pace for 1850, 1875 or so. Other guys not far behind, so. Now, through 9 frames, and get into the 10th right now. That's what it looks like. Clark, 1 strike here in game 2. There's a 2-pin there. We've been lucky to see some great, exciting moments on the air this year, and we've seen some struggles as well. That's what it's all about.
As the saying goes, you got to take the good with the bad, the ups and the downs.
Some youngsters lining up along the rail here to check out the defending champs. Looking up to them, I'm sure. guys, role models in the bowling industry. Junior Team USA members, collegiate standouts. Andrew Kane, the president of USBC, so eyes are on them. Eyes were watching as they got it done last year, and they're watching to see how they handle themselves in a difficult year. Kyle King finishes with 168. Clerk, 158.
Good final shot that game from Clark, but of course there's always something to learn from every experience. And I'm sure these gentlemen will have something to take away, learn from. So important to continue to battle, finish strong, as strong as possible.
Ishman struggled in team and doubles, and now he's finding something here in singles. He's the only one at this point, but still got to feel pretty good to finish strong, like you said. Andrew Kane shooting at the 4-7. Chops off the 7. So Ishman wraps things up here. We'll take a look up top. 158, 131 for Andrew Kane, 168 for Kyle King, and Ishman is going to finish with 215. Back-to-back 215s. Here we go. The singles finale. How about some fireworks here, Emil? It's a big finish. Something to build on.
I think everybody would like to see that.
Andrew Kane going to the bag again. At least they're laughing about it, though. Having a good time out there.
They've definitely been having fun at the same time.
Granted, they see each other probably all the time back home. They'll lead together. So nothing like the Open Championships environment. Taking your show on the road. Enjoying what the host city has to offer. Telling stories, perhaps a few cocktails along the way.
And just to recap a little bit regarding their team event, their plan was to break down the area 6, 7, and 8. Bowling balls with a lot of flair. Surface, 1,000 and 2,000. These are the words from Adam Isham. He told me that the plan worked and he wouldn't change it. Of course, they had some costly errors, and he personally said he did not throw it well all night.
They had a huge start, and again, that's been our key all year. Is who can jump out of the gate with a big first game, expecting that the lanes will open up as the night progresses. But in fact, they defied the the habits or what's been happening this year. And they went the other way. Big start, struggle in game 3. So it's that team that can put it all together, like Nicholas J's Pro Shop. 3 games, over 1,100, and they're the leaders. And they've been holding on since March 5th. They They did everything right and have been rewarded thus far. Could be the 4th consecutive year that team trophy will go to Wisconsin. As we look around, some great scenery here at the Open Championships. This venue looks fantastic. Kinds scoreboards, 48 lanes here downstairs, 4 lanes upstairs, 4 showcase lanes introduced to the Open Championships this year. That is your opportunity to practice on the very same lane surface, lane condition, oil, environment that you'll see down here on the main stage. And many teams taking advantage of the new showcase lanes for $125. Up to 10 people practice for 1 hour. And that is during peak hours. And early in the morning or later at night, the cost is $90 for up to 10 people to bowl for 1 hour. Get a feel for the environment. And if you'd like to have some advice, some coaching while you're doing it, Bill Hall, USBC Silver Coach, is on hand to give you all the tricks and tips. And that will cost you $200. A lot of opportunities to get ready for the Open Championships, that and more. Some side events across town. Check out the Bowlers Journal Championships over at Metro Bowl. Opportunity to loosen up the arm swing, win a few bucks, some extra prize money. These guys right here were over there. They were also upstairs on the showcase lane, taking advantage of every chance to prepare.
Plan to but that's not
Well, we have this opportunity to take a look at the venue. This look brought to you by Emil Williams Jr. 48 lanes, the world's largest mobile scoreboard. And up top in the rafters, if you can see, are championship banners hanging just over the lanes. There's one that says K&K Bowling Services 5. That is to represent last year's team all events champions, last year's champions all together. And I imagine when this event is over, that banner will hang at one of K&K's pro shops in Las Vegas. These gentlemen also took home an Eagle and championship watch. All of those items are priceless, of course. So, part of the house already done with doubles and singles here. Lanes being oiled for the 8:30 team event. Those guys will head back to the squad room for the announcements and award presentations. And we'll do it all over again every day here. Just about the same. Bowlers on the lanes at 7 a.m. and they get done about 2:30, 3 o'clock. We are here all day, every day to check out the action, bring you the news. You can find all that on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page. Turn our attention back to our defending champs. Almost halfway done. We'll calculate their scores as quickly as we can to see what their final tally will be for 2012.
Exactly what Chris Clark just said. I'm sure he would have liked to been able to miss right and have it get on the horse on his first pair. Well, I tell you what. Talk about finishing strong. Mr. Ishman has the same idea.
Ishman, where were you earlier? Saving it for singles. We'll take a look here in a minute after Andrew Kane lets this one go. There's a look at Mr. Ishman getting it done here. 215, 215. I think he'd be upset about ruining his triplicate if he shot 300 here.
I don't think so for some reason. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so.
Youngster Kyle King stepping up on the left lane, just 20 years old, already owns an Eagle. He says, "This is not my happy face." He leaves another 10 pin. Great shot though. And the Prez, USBC President Andrew Kane, up on the right. Looks like he finally found the right ball. It's 3 strikes in the last 4 frames.
What better gentleman to, including Les too, for Kyle to be around and learn from on a consistent basis. Clearly he has an idea on how to perform at this event, and only will get better as he improves as a bowler as well. The young man is already pretty darn good. So is Adam Isham.
Looks like he saved all of his strikes up for the finale. Except there's not going to be anybody out here to see it, except for us. Just a few minutes away from the 8:30 team event. Try to get you these scores as quickly as possible so we can have a final number. If not, final recap will be on bowl.com later tonight.
Seven in a row for Ishman.
There's a question in the chat room about Turbo 2-in-1 and some sponsorship situations. I'm not sure I understand the question, but if you'd like to send me an email and further explain, I'd be happy to answer if I can. Ishman clearly has something the other gentlemen have not figured out here. In his final game, Chris Clerk picks up the 3-6-10. Kyle King, no dice. Ishman looking for 8 in a row. I believe you said he was throwing the game breaker?
Yeah, he said he had a couple of game breakers, a couple of outbursts.
All right.
I know he made a switch to a game breaker in doubles. Looks to be one here. In fact, yep, that's a game breaker.
Game breaker's looking pretty good. Frustrations continue. See what Kyle King got here in frame number 9. Here's 10. Here's a look at the scoreboard now. As we said, Ishman has the front 8. Back to the action. say thanks to Les Sherwin for tuning in tonight and for the kind words. And we look forward to seeing you back here next year. You guys hit the lanes back where it all happened at the National Bowling Stadium. Great shot out of Ishman.
This might be the quietest.
I don't want to jinx him, but back in 2005, I watched a 300 happen on lanes 1 and 2 at 10 till 2 in the morning. It was the only pair in the house where anything was happening. That was the quietest 300 I've ever seen. I believe it was me and the 2 center desk people and the custodian in the building. That was it. Emil Tyrone said, "How's the food?" And I believe I saw you with a plate earlier. I believe I saw you with 1 plate. So Tyrone, I guess he didn't bring any for himself. That clearly was for me.
That's clearly for you.
So I appreciate that, and we'll let you know. Chris Clerk closes things out here with 183 for 577 in singles. That one's going to cash. We'll take home a couple bucks, but you can't put a price on the memories. And here's Adam Ishman stepping up and trying to make some memories.
Literally the only one bowler right now. You can hear the announcements going on in the squad room.
Dead silent here. It's like a TV show. Well, I have to rework the story a little bit. But yeah, it's like a legit TV telecast. You can hear a pin drop. And you just heard 10 pins drop. Andrew Kane with a late 3-bagger. Here's Ishman. 10 in a row. He saved all of his strikes for this one game. Got that one right.
Hook.
Never recovers. 2, 4,
all right.
10. It's probably the one thing you can't do is get it right here. It's gonna hang on you. Andrew Kane.
288 game last night by teammates of 2-time champion Bo Gergen, Arturo Quintero. Got 288 last night at 11:30.
There you go. There's a look at the scoreboard. 285 for Ishman. He finishes with 715. So there's your numbers for singles. We'll get some calculations here. Mr. Williams on the calculator. And we do appreciate everybody joining us here live at the 2012 Open Championships once again. A lot of exciting live stream action so far at this year's event. Still a couple of telecasts left. We'll be back with you again on June 8th. We'll take a look at Del Ballard Jr., Team USA member Steve Smith, and Jason Milligan, among others. So remember to tune in for that. If you missed any of today's broadcast, you can find the archived version on youtube.com/bowltv. And if you'd like to see a recap of tonight's action, you can read all about it on bowl.com later tonight.
All right.
Neil's got the final numbers.
Final numbers, so team all events, their actual total 91-15. Antonio Medina did lead the way with 1944, followed by Kyle King, who we just saw this evening, 1825. That 287 helped Adam get to 1793. Chris Clark, 1780, and Andrew Kane, 1773.
So there you have it. The defending champs come up a little bit short, and SMB Pro Shop won 99-54. Will hold on for another day. Had some up and down moments here for K&K Bowling Services 5, led by USBC President Andrew Kane. And they're going to pack up and make room for the 8:30 team event. Here comes Adam Isman. Give us a couple of thoughts as we wrap things up. Emil's going to go take some pictures and do some things. Mr. Isman gave it a run there and a little bit of excitement at the end. Looks like you saved all your strikes for the Game 9 finale there. Tough day. It's a bit of a roller coaster. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that 1 and 2 was just brutal. Every time you move left, it'd hook more. Try and move right, it would back up. It was just a bad pair. I watched a lot of Robbie Patterson and Brett Wolf on that pair. Very, very tough.
All right, so anyway, here we are. Had a big run there late, and you're talking about 1 and 2 and having a tough look in doubles there.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is just it's tough. It's definitely a pair, right-handed, left-handed. It's just a tricky pair. That's about all you can really say. I'm at a loss for words on that pair. It was pretty difficult.
Okay, well, you guys came in. There was a lot of excitement around last night. Of course, the defending champs coming in. A little bit of hoopla before the event. Some presentations and some watches, and
yeah,
of course.
That was pretty cool. It's not every year that you get to come out and be honored as a previous champion, especially as a defending champion. Definitely something that if you have the opportunity to do it, man, it's a once-in-a-lifetime feeling.
Well, now you spent a lot of time last year at the National Bowling Stadium, kind of watching scores. You were there for a while.
Yeah, I worked in the Ebonite booth for about a month and a half of the tournament. I've been here a couple times this year, but not nearly as much as what I have been in the past. It's a little farther distance for me, but I've had some intel. I've had a little bit of help with my guys in the booth, paying attention to scores, getting a lot of feedback, and this is. Out of the 10 years that I bowled, this is the hardest I've ever seen them here.
Well, now, what was that? What was more difficult, I guess, for you guys mentally? Was it, the weight last year after taking the lead and just waiting to hold on, or the weight this year of wanting to come back and defend?
I can tell you that waiting to win is harder than waiting to defend. There's no doubt about it, especially sitting here. When you're watching people that have a legitimate chance at taking the lead, it is nerve-wracking. I would rather not be there and just have information after the fact. It's tough to watch.
Well, now last year obviously in the books. This year now a done deal. The Orange Eagle will always appear next to your name on the scoreboard. They will never be taken away. You obviously have the Eagle at home. You'll have the watch, and I'm sure the banner will be hanging in a K&K Pro Shop sometime soon.
Absolutely. Andrew and I have been talking for a while that we were gonna pass it around like the Stanley Cup and put it as wallpaper on everybody's house at some point in time. Yeah, having that orange eagle up there is very cool. One of my coworkers, Gary Gabriel, won a Team Offense Eagle in '91, and it's kind of cool to actually have somebody to share that with, somebody that's won in the past.
So now that it's all said and done, can you just sum up the past year?
It's different, especially when I mean, I don't consider myself a phenomenal talent or a bowler at all. I just bowl because I love it and it's part of my job. To be recognized for it is pretty special. To be a national champion at some point in time is very, very cool. All
right, well that about does it here. That's Adam Ishman, and a piece of history, a part of history here at the USBC Open Championships, a 2011 Team All Events champion. He and his K&K Bowling Services teammates just made a run at 2 in a row here at the Baton Rouge River Center. Did not get it done, came up a little bit short, but got to enjoy everything that went along with it. And we had a good time watching them, and I'm sure we'll see all of them in the near future. Back at the top of the leaderboard, but for today, this is Matt Canizaro and Emil Williams Jr. We're going to sign off from Baton Rouge. We'll be with you again on June 8th. And if you missed anything tonight, you can find it all on bowl.com or youtube.com/bowltv. And we'll see you next time. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.